Welcome back, baby. It is fourth in the game. You know what I'm saying? We are back in the building for another installment of this good talk. We got my boy Fred in the building. Fred, say what's up.
What's happening? I got energy. My energy is right here for all of y'all to see. Feel my energy.
Lies and propaganda. We got Mr. Opinion down there looking very studious, Mr. Opinion. What's going on, man?
I have no desire to interact with Fred's energy at all. I just want to name that for the record. And
Okay.
I'm happy to be here for everyone. I'm ready to get things done. If you need a 2007, 2006 Buick, I'm the man to see.
Yes, he sell Buicks. Also in the building, welcome back, Maul. What's happening, Maul?
Look who it is.
What's going on?
To all my fans out there, sorry for the wait.
All
Okay,
two of you.
okay.
All two of you.
All our
Both-
twos and
Both
fews,
Both of you are
baby.
fans.
That's
Both
pretty
fans.
much my mom's and my wife. So hey,
There you
mom and
go.
wife.
There you go. Hey,
Hey, don't forget your son.
Yeah,
Hey.
well, he ain't been waiting.
just so y'all know, we are live. So if you are watching this now, interact, comment,
Get them buttons.
post, say something to us, man. We'll put your quotes up on the board, man. So get it
Okay.
out there. All the good comments. So our first topic of the day. Let me get that up there. It says, my man Tupac, they got a police search over his 1996 killing. So I guess this ain't over with, man. So please tell me what's y'all opinion on Tupac being still in the news by this murder.
Listen, if it took them 30 plus years to do a search of the house, I don't even know the point of doing a search. This is I hear. Have you guys all been to Vegas? They don't have the most astute intellectually places in the world. So it's not really that surprising. Shout out to anybody from Vegas. No offense, but UNLV isn't like a USF as a top 45 school in the nation. So just want to say that for the record.
Wow.
Hey man, you better apologize to Larry Johnson and Stacey Augman and the rest of them.
I rest my case. I literally rest my case.
I can't
for the
condone-
UNLV running rebels.
I can't condone UNLV catching a stray in a Tupac shooting.
Yeah. Wow.
Especially 27 years later. This is crazy because it's been 27 years since Tupac was killed apparently in Henderson County, Nevada, which I don't know if is that the
Vegas.
county?
That's where
Is that
Vegas
Vegas County?
Yeah.
They served a search warrant on a home. I kind of always thought that this shooting was by the Orlando Anderson guy who then died a few years later. The guy that they jumped for the chain in the casino video with, everyone was stomping on him.
Mhm.
So it is weird that they're serving a search warrant in this case right now, but I mean, it's 27 years later, so I don't know.
It gives off of I wish I had my tinfoil Koofing in me, but it gives off a vibe that somebody was involved that's already dead or already in jail that they can just pin it on to get it out the way and basically make more money off Tupac because people are interested, people are going to watch it, people are going to be commenting and stuff. So they just trying to gather up some steam for it, man. But I say, look, if they ain't caught the dude by now, man, let him live scot-free and he can brag about being Tupac's killer, organizing Tupac's killer, man.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
I just want to jump in real quick. Go ahead, Maul. I'm not used to you being here, so I wasn't ready.
I just want to say I'm not used to you talking like you're from Rhode Island or something. So, but it's all good. But listen, man, I think this is one of those situations where somebody somewhere is trying to be relevant, man. Somebody got a lot of time on their hands.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying their best to get relevant. And even 27 years later, the name Tupac, it still rings everywhere. He just got his star of fame or whatever about a month or two ago. So he's back out there. Maybe the police department, the sheriff's office, somebody is figuring, man, you know how we can get some clicks and likes and views, and wherever this house is will now become a historical landmark or whatever. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just people trying to be relevant, man. But on the side note, though, before you go, Mr. Opinion, I remember in 1997 on a Friday night, we had just got back from an away game. I don't remember who we was playing.
96.
96, excuse me. We got back from an away game. We was in the locker room at Jefferson when we found out that Tupac died. And I think that was a Friday night that we lost the game, and we were more upset that Pac died than us losing the game.
Yeah. That was,
I think that's a heavy point, because my question is, why is he still relevant? I know why he's relevant to us. You know what I mean? As young men listening to that music, that rebelliousness, that F the world energy, and that building energy. It was a lot. It was such a complicated character. So I get, like, literally last week I listened to a Tupac album, right? It was what was the one I listened to with the G?
All Eyes on Me?
No. Thug Life Volume 1. Thug Life Volume 1.
Okay.
Yeah. I literally just listened to it last week, and it still resonated with me. I still felt all those things. So I know why it's relevant to us, but why is it relevant in the greater society? Why do you guys think, really? You know, I don't want to linger on the topic, but
it has something to do with, like I said earlier, man, people making money off of it. It still can be monetized. They sell Tupac t-shirts at Walmart, man. You know what I'm saying? If you say anything about Tupac in a movie or an article, people are going to read it. If you comment about Tupac on something, people are going to say, "Oh man, you know, I remember Tupac. Oh man, they telling their kids." So it's something that's going to forever be. You know what I'm saying? He's almost like Elvis. You know what I'm saying?
He's like the rap Elvis.
World. Yeah, he's rap Elvis. Like, whatever he touched, whatever he did, good or bad, people are going to talk about it. People are going to love it, and people are going to want to know more about it. Because, like I said, man, this murder happened, like you say, 30-something years ago, if that. 27, same thing. I like rounding up because I'm that type of guy.
Same difference.
Just because you had a different math book, that don't mean nothing. But like I'm saying, man, it's that's the reason why, man. People just love to hear about their heroes and, you know what I'm saying, iconic figures like that.
I also think, man, to piggyback on that point, Roscoe, you think about, like, when people say Tupac's name now, it's not so much about the music, it's some of the movies, and it's also like the Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith, Will Smith. I know a lot of celebrities, like a lot of big time celebrities, rappers have been saying, man, if Pac was still alive, man, Will wouldn't have had a chance. This girl would have been gone. Yeah. So I think, like, a lot of people keep him alive too, like, for the culture, because he was so tied into people like Naughty by Nature and some of the artists who are older now, but they're still relevant. Jada
artists won't even think about, though. Think about Gip.
Think about Gip. Gip was the one who said,
Ice
man, if
Cube
Pac was around now, you know, Will Smith wouldn't even have his girl, or she would have never married Will, all kind of stuff. So I think a lot of people are keeping them culturally relevant too, just by simply bringing up his name.
Mal, I want to jump in here because I heard one of the Outlaws speaking and saying, like, Pac didn't even like her like that.
Yeah.
So I don't want to put it out there that Pac would have been messing with this chick Jada like that. I mean, he would have been.
But she liked him like that. She liked him like that. And I think that's what carried more. When she was on a different world, she brought Pac with her. When she was, you know, doing her thing, whatever, and just starting to pop, she brought the hood with her. And at that point, the hood was Pac. He might not have liked her like that, but she definitely was feeling him.
I think the one thing everyone's missing about why he's still relevant is because his music was that good. I mean, the guy is kind of, he is an actual poet. Like, this is the thing, is like, back when he was alive, Tupac always portrayed this character of being a thug, and yeah, he got in some problems. But the truth is, he was like a trained actor and poet. And one thing about poets is they're very observant, and good ones are able to tell you very relatable real life stories and scenarios and make it poetic. That's what he did. You can actually put on a lot of his music right now, and a lot of those messages still carry weight today in a way that, I mean, I don't know that, you know, very many other artists do. So I think, you know, part of the reason he's still relevant is just it's a testament to him as an artist. He was a brilliant artist. I don't think, obviously, he was really a thug necessarily or at all, but he was certainly a brilliant. Yeah, he was a brilliant
storyteller.
Yes,
but to that point too, Fred, I know we've been on this topic for a minute, man, but I want to say this. That music is really relevant to us because we understand, like, the societal relevance and everything else. But I work with a lot of kids and teenagers, man, they don't even like Pac's music. Like, this, it's because it's foreign. The flow is foreign. It's not drill rap. It's not, he ain't talking about pills and foolishness. So they like Pac, they like the music, but they don't like it for the same reasons we like it. They like it because they feel like you're supposed to like Pac. Like you ain't supposed to not like Pac.
Yeah.
But as far as like musically, they ain't really feeling Pac's music like that because they just don't really understand it. It sounds nothing like what they listen to.
I just want to add, as before, Roscoe, you take us to the next topic really quick. He was also son of 2 Black Panthers. So I think that is relevant in his story, especially in the messages he's giving out. Because you even hear some of his sound bites. I want to say they're full lectures or talks because I know you always are wanting more in those conversations, but he really lays out the story of Black people in America. And I think that's really important part of his story. So
not only that, but didn't Mumia just die like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Did Mumia just die? I didn't even know
Yeah.
that.
He died about 2 weeks ago, man. I think he was like 76 or something like that.
Mhm.
So that's another reason. That's another reason Pac's name would be trending is because Mumia died. You know what I mean? So you can't acknowledge his death without acknowledging the fact that he was Pac's, Pac's pretty much.
Yeah. Well,
Hey, Brandy commented that Pac is universal because every culture loves a bad boy. Long live Pac, and that is probably pretty true. Actually, I think that's absolutely the case.
Shout out to Brandy for tuning in. We really appreciate you.
All right, so
Brandy, know what? Nope.
So the end of Tupac thing, right? So we last week we talked about this one team that had some new uniforms and you know what I'm saying? Everybody brought it up. It was somebody that was extra excited about their new uniform. So I figured we'd come back this week and we'll see some other teams that had their new uniforms and stuff. So we'll start off with the Cleveland Browns. They're doing with the all-white helmets, man. Trying to look crispy on y'all. So what is y'all opinion on the Browns new uniforms, man?
I just want to jump in. I think you can clearly see if you look at the uniforms here versus their old uniforms, which are right here. I think these look outstanding. I think, I just think it's a really good look. This is the first Cleveland Browns uniform that I ever seen that I thought, okay, these actually look legitimate. So.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, right? They're kind of nice to look at, but the Browns confuse me, right? Because these are going to be worn with all white uniforms, so they're going to have one all white. I heard that the Browns were doing an alternate helmet this year, and my first thought was like, oh, well, maybe these will be brown, because their names are the Browns and their helmets are orange, right? And then they come out and surprise, no, they're white. So like the Cleveland Browns, I don't think have ever had a brown helmet that I know of. So this look is, it's kind of confusing, but I guess people like it. It definitely looks, the uniform's nicely done. I just don't really get it. I mean, I know Browns are named after Paul Brown, not the color brown, but you really don't see a whole lot of brown going on in their color scheme, and that's always been weird to me. Now you see even less, just more white.
Yeah, that's a dumb take because just because the name is Brown doesn't mean the uniform has to carry a whole lot of brown. But anyway,
Brown.
If you look at the uniform, to me, man, they look like trendy. They look like a college team's uniform. They look cooler. That's what a lot of NFL teams are trying to do now. They're trying to get cooler. They're trying to appeal to younger fan bases. They're trying to look swaggier, drippier, whatever you want to call it these days. So I think they're dope, man. And at the end of the day, man, all white uniforms just go hard. I think it's real difficult to mess up all white uniforms. Like you got to go out of your way to mess up an ice cream man outfit.
Everybody look good in all white, huh, Ma?
Everybody look good in all white. Hey, listen, I look good in white jeans, brother.
Wow.
Well, here's my take on the uniforms, man. That is hilarious, by the way. It goes like this here. Like, first off, they're the Cleveland Browns, all right? I don't give them enough respect to even call their name. I call them the Browns. So everything about them is ugly. Real talk.
That's a good point.
Like,
that's a good point.
The team is ugly. The uniforms are ugly. Like, they fit Cleveland. Cleveland smells bad. I'm sorry if you from Cleveland. I don't like the way y'all smell. Yeah,
man, what did the Browns ever do to you?
I like Cleveland though. I had a really great time in the city.
You would. I'm not saying the city. I'm just saying the sports team. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? The city, they might have some nice people there. Who knows? But I do have a theory on why they look like that. Now, tell me one college team that they look like. The University of Miami, right? And they got a whole bunch of people on their team that played for the University of Miami or is from South Florida. So that's probably another way they lean towards getting people to try to watch them, because they try to sort of kind of trick fool you into thinking you watching Miami, but you're not. So
I mean, it looks like
it
looks like a nice uniform to lose 38-26 in week 7. And
I don't think they're gonna lose that much though, because they do have a decent squad, man.
they'll
They
lose.
do have a decent squad.
Who's their quarterback?
Me.
Not Baker Mayfield.
That's what I'm
Baker
saying.
Mayfield.
So he said he don't think they're gonna lose a lot. I'm trying to find out did I miss something?
Deshaun is their quarterback, but
I think
Ernie
it's.
Kosar come back?
Oh yeah, that's right. They have Deshaun. I forgot about that guy.
yes,
My bad.
exactly.
Yeah.
But our next uniform cover
Oh yeah.
is from Minnesota. The Vikings say they're gonna bring out some throwbacks,
Oh,
baby. You see it on the
wow.
screen. They
Those are
bringing
really-
some throwback Viking uniforms, man, straight from the Nordic. Tell me y'all opinion on these, man.
Those are really authentic and Scandinavian, and I don't know. Do you think that these are going to include the hair, or the player is going to have to prepare for these throwback uniforms by growing out their long beards and hairs? Also, I don't think you can wear a knife on your hip in the NFL.
You might as well.
Well, I'm gonna say those are whack because I don't see the Viking helmet. I don't see
Exactly.
the horn. I
Exactly.
don't see none of that stuff. So that's like the Party City Viking uniform,
Yeah.
right there. Real Viking
That's a
uniform.
casual. That's a casual Viking look
Yeah,
that
yeah,
these
yeah.
guys have. That's what
them
that is.
Going out to a nice dinner. That's the Vikings
Yeah.
going out to a nice dinner uniform.
They're going to eat some
The
fish
real
or whatever
uniform
Vikings.
got the long horn, the scruffy beard.
There you
But
go.
those uniforms, I think they're gonna be all right, man. They're the Vikings. I mean, again, if we're gonna diss the Browns for being whack,
Yeah.
I mean, we gotta give Minnesota the same
They look
business because it's Minnesota.
like the tiny country Vikings, man.
But
Mm.
again, back to my point though. Look at the all whites, bro. You can't go wrong with all white. You can't mess
Yeah.
that up. You got to be Mr. Opinion to mess up all white uniforms.
Those all white uniforms aren't actually the ones that they unveiled today. They just unveiled a traditional throwback, but our producer seems to be having a hard time finding a picture of them right now.
I just
but-
said you got to be Mr. Opinion to mess up all whites.
There you go. There you go. He just did
I
it.
can't find it.
He just did it by presenting some to you that are not, in fact, the uniforms that we're talking about.
I can't
So,
find the uniforms.
There you
It's
go.
okay.
That's how you do it.
It's
That's the
all
way
right.
you mess them up.
And we can
There you go.
imagine what they look like.
It's the classic uniforms. I think from the 70s, mostly what they wore probably through the mid 90s when I think they put that Vikings silhouette on their shoulders.
With Jim
but this is the
Marshall
one-
and all them on there.
Yeah, it's the one with the stripes and the yellow and white stripes, regular
I
purple,
mean,
clean looking helmet.
So-
The Vikings look.
so here's my question to y'all. Okay, we have 3 teams that came out with new uniforms and new style uniforms and stuff. So
All right, I got them up.
Out of all 3,
There they go.
look the same. Out of all 3 teams, the Bucks, the Browns, and the Vikings, which uniform do you like the most?
I'll go first. I'll lead.
Go ahead,
I'll
go ahead,
bat lead
Mo.
off. I'll bat lead off and say the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah. Hey, that's a good uniform. Good look. Good look. Good
No,
look.
no,
Good
no, no.
look.
I say out of the 3 that I proposed to
Oh, my
you.
bad. Hold on. Okay, out of them,
It's
three,
been a while. He's out of practice.
all
Come
right.
on, let's go. Out of them 3.
Miami Dolphins.
Hey,
All right, here
I
we
couldn't
go.
agree more. Absolutely. The Miami Dolphins have the best uniform in football. So what are you going to
Here
do?
we go. Hey, Mr. Payne, you see what we got to deal with now, man?
Hey,
Listen,
Listen, man.
we
I
about
already
to
know what
say
you're going to say. What's your take, Mr. Opinion?
I think he's on a work
all right.
call. He's on a conference call.
Mr. Opinion, get off the phone.
We got some 2002 Saturns. We got to move right now. If we don't get them out of here, no one's going to want them anymore.
Hey,
You can't see
Oh.
that. The Bucks win.
All of that for that. All of that for that. Look at that. What a letdown. That was not better than my joke. So that was a waste of our
I
time.
thought
You
you was
just
drawing
wasted
the
our
King
time.
of Wings
I
symbol
thought
or
it,
something.
yeah, King of Wings, baby.
That
Bucks
would have been
gonna
way
win,
better if
baby.
you drew Bucko Bruce.
Well, one of the things is I think the Bucks did the best job of matching tradition with a modern spin on it, right? with their throwback uniforms. I don't think these uniforms are that much different from what they've traditionally been wearing over the years. So it doesn't have that pop in terms of difference. So that's why I believe the Bucs for the win. Not just because, the Bucs are going to win the AFC South and, go to the Super Bowl.
They moved them to the AFC South? That's crazy.
I mean, NFC South.
They moved them to TBYFL.
Yeah, TBYFL.
They gonna win.
Long as we win. Long as we win, I'm okay.
You might not if Baker Mayfield's your quarterback.
All right, here we go. What's your take, Roscoe?
My favorite uniforms out of them all, I would say the Browns, because they look clean. They got the all white on, man, and it's neat. It's different. You know what I'm saying? It'll make me want to watch a Browns game. You know what I'm saying? If I had to on a Sunday night, if they showed up, that was the only game that was on TV. So
because I'm the master of segueing, I would like to add that there is another team that's announcing a throwback uniform a little bit later in a couple of weeks, and the Tennessee Titans will actually wear the 1980s era Houston Oilers uniforms this year, which takes us smoothly into their latest acquisition, who is DeAndre Hopkins, who just signed with the Titans for 2 years, $26 million, has a chance to earn $32 million if he does all of the right things in this contract. So another great receiver goes to the Titans. Who knows what will happen with that? What do you think about this move, Maul?
Well, I'm just going to say Tennessee has been the place where good receivers have gone to die. And I'm just going to list a handful of them I remember. Randy Moss went to Tennessee for a short spell. Robert Woods went to Tennessee a couple years ago when he left the Rams. Julio Jones went to Tennessee last year. It ain't looking good for D Hop if he's following the long list of receivers who went to Tennessee and just everything fell apart when they get there. Number one, we don't even know who's going to be throwing on the football.
Yeah.
They still have Tannehill. They spent the 3rd round pick on Malik Willis last year. They gave up on him. Now they got Will Levis. They said he can't hit the backside of a barn right now. So, I mean, unless he goes out there and throw the ball to his damn self, I don't know what he's going to go there and do other than collect it back. So get your money, bro. But if you go in there really to go and, ball out and do your thing, I don't see that happening. And the Titans run the ball 80% of the time. They're going to feed Derrick Henry. So what is he going to get? 2 or 3 targets a game? Like, I don't get it. But, hey, get your bag, bro. He got paid.
I mean, it was only so many places that wanted him. You know what I'm saying? He's an aging veteran, as they say. And, he has a checkered past, I guess, with PEDs and all that good stuff, man. So nobody wanted to pay him what he wanted. You know what I'm saying? And it also goes to show that Tennessee will pick up any veteran receiver out there. They almost look like the Raiders used to do back in the day with picking up old has-beens or whatever. But Hopkins, I think, still got some ball left in him.
Yeah, he's still a top-tier receiver.
So this is basically his tryouts for next year, and who gonna pay him the big bag, man? I say New England lost out on him, so that's who should have got him. But hey,
I just want to just jump in a real quick take, and he didn't have a really good quarterback situation last year, especially with what's the kid, Kyler Murray getting hurt. That didn't help. The coaching transition, that didn't help. So, he didn't put up the numbers that he traditionally put up with. So
he also missed 6 games too. Remember that, man. Don't discount that too.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. Is it a case of he's 31 now, right? He's been in the league for 10 years, or a case of all the circumstances that we can all name? Like, you don't know, right? So it's good that he's going to a team that's willing to take that risk on him, because I think it is a risk. And we're all assuming that he's going to be the DeAndre Hopkins we think about when we think of DeAndre Hopkins. So,
well, I mean, I can tell you right now, just to jump onto what Maul said earlier, I did read a couple of stories earlier this week that were before they signed him, that said that Malik Willis is outplaying Levis right now in out throwing him or something like that. So, I mean, I can tell you right now, that's not a good sign because if you still got Tannehill on the roster, that doesn't give you any kind of certainty of who might be this guy's quarterback. And that feels like an important thing for an aging wide receiver who wants to hit some bonuses and make $32 million over the next 2 years. I just don't. This is a bad move all around in my opinion.
You got Derrick Henry, and you are not going to get that ball. Like Maul said, you can go there to die and collect the check and move on to the next one, man. So
that's it.
Speaking of running backs, transition.
Oh,
don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Make sure you comment below. What do you think is going to happen with DeAndre Hopkins? Going to Tennessee and wearing those old school throwback uniforms. Now, a few running backs, Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, Tony Pollard, did not get franchise tag, did not get long-term deals. And some NFL players came out and discussed. Christian McCaffrey saying this is criminal. 3 of the best players in the entire league, regardless of position. Colts running back Jonathan Taylor tweeted, wow. And it just goes on. If you're good enough, they'll find you. If you work hard enough, you'll succeed. If you succeed, you boost the organization. And then it doesn't matter. You're a running back. Those are words from Jonathan Taylor. Titans running back Derrick Henry, because we're talking about him, averages wage $12.5 million after signing a 4-year extension for $50 million in 2020. He went on this saying, at this point, just take the running back position out the game. The ones that want to be great and work hard as they can to give their all to an organization, just seems like it doesn't even matter. I'm with every running back that's fighting to get what they deserve. On and on and on. So we have these running backs who are all speaking up. So my question to you all is, what's happened with the running back position? In terms of not getting the touches, not getting the respect. If you guys had a young son, would you even want him to be a running back if he has aspirations to go further? You can't base off of that because nobody goes to the league. It's not an aspiration for real. It's just something that happens. But, well, Roscoe and Maul, both of you guys have sons who play running back. How does that land with you with the disrespect for the running back position?
Well, I'll start us off with this here, man. Like I've said before, the running back is one of the most disrespected positions in football now. It used to be one of the top dogs in the NFL, which is sad because without a running back, like they say, without a run game, you don't win championships. Your offense ain't that good. But with New England winning the way they did, without a big name running back by committee, the Chiefs doing what they do. So it goes to show that you don't need that dominant running back. But if you want to win a Super Bowl like the Chiefs did, they had somebody that ran that ball a couple of times to give Mahomes a break. You know what I'm saying? Because after a certain time, you can only drop back so much until them D linemen just pin their ears back and come get you. But if my son said he wanted to be a running back, I'm not going to stop him, you know what I'm saying, because that's still part of the football team, and he might be able to bring the glory back to the position. So it's just a disrespect to him, and I get it, and I see why the other running backs are saying that, because it's messing up their future paychecks. So if they're not getting paid, and you got to think Josh Jacobs was the leading rusher of the NFL, bro. That used to be like the highest title, and he doesn't get an extension. That is very disrespectful, and I am pissed off at the Raiders for that because that blows my mind. Ma, it's on you, Ma.
I have a young son who is a hell of a running back currently, and will get better. Who has aspirations of being in the NFL one day, and I'm going to look at it a little differently. It is a position that's been disrespected a lot lately, but it's also a position of great opportunity, right? Because if you look at it as, man, they're drafting running backs in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. Isaiah Pacheco, a 7th round pick, was a starting running back in the Super Bowl. So there's great opportunity for running backs to be drafted and play. Used to be a time where if you weren't a 1st round pick at running back, you weren't going to touch the field because you weren't that guy. Now you can be Pacheco. You could be Cam Akers. The Rams went to the Super Bowl with Cam Akers. He was a 4th-round pick. The list goes on and on. Ramondre Stevenson from the Patriots right now, they're running back. He was like a 6th-round pick. So you don't have to be a number 1 pick to be a running back in the NFL. That's a good thing because that means you can get more opportunities. Guys get drafted later, they get a chance to play. Now, does it affect the money that they're making? Absolutely. They're not getting the money that they were making. The big contracts for running backs are few and far in between. But, I mean, it sucks to say teams have figured out, man, I don't need Emmitt Smith and Barry Sanders to win the Super Bowl anymore, man. I need a guy or a couple guys that can block, that can catch, that can get us first downs by any means necessary. I don't have to turn around and hand it to him 25, 30 times a game. And that's just what it is. So there's a lot of opportunities for running backs. I think it's dope that you can be a 6th, 7th round running back and be a starting running back in the league and be on a Super Bowl winning team. So it is disrespected, but there's a lot of opportunities for running backs now too.
I think it speaks directly to how much the game has changed in such a short period of time. LaDainian Tomlinson retired in 2011. I had to look that up before we started this podcast tonight because that's just over 10 years ago. And can you even imagine a scenario where you see another LaDainian Tomlinson right now, a guy that spends basically his whole career with the same, or actually LaDainian Tomlinson never played for anybody else but the Chargers, right?
Played for the Jets.
That's right.
Come on, man.
Basically his whole career for the Chargers and was a superstar, was one of the greatest at the time. And now here we are a decade later, and it's kind of like whoever just plug in whoever you want to plug in, and because everyone's throwing the ball all over the field and no one's playing, smash mouth football anymore, everything has changed. I think that if you watched LaDainian Tomlinson 10 years ago and you thought in a decade from now, this position's not going to matter to be a premier player at this position, that would have been a crazy thought to have in 10 years. It's part of how fast these games are changing. I don't know if it's for the better or not, but I guess we'll kind of see, you know what I mean? Maybe it does create opportunities for some guys.
The less we have of these scrub behind running backs like LaDainian Tomlinson, the less we have of the Barry Sanders of the world who wants to run 50 mile backwards to run 2 feet forward, the better for the league. Mark is spot on. I want to jump in and say I agree with him. We need opportunity for people to play the position at a high, fast rate. LaDainian Tomlinson, he had 2-3 years of being good, whatever. Right. But now let's move him on because the game moves on. Right. This is the NFL, the National Football League is the red. What do you call it? The red. I can't think of it. But the red
tide. Red tide.
Yeah, the
red zone.
It's a red zone league, right? It's action, throwing the ball, getting things out there. Things that people actually relate to, because you guys know the explosion of the flag football leagues and stuff like that, where people can go out and they can feel like that. That's what a running back is now. A running back is nothing but a wide receiver. If you can't catch the ball out the backfield, and when they need you to run the ball downhill, then run the ball downhill. But the day of the hand the ball off, the one-dimensional running backs who can barely catch a swing route is over, and that's a good thing. Get them up out the paint. We don't need no LaDainian Tomlinson who thanked his slave master for giving him the last name Tomlinson. He can go flip off down the road.
I think, judging from your outfit, I would say that you really like this new situation where running backs are always changing places, because you make a good commission off of selling them a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house in a different city. Is that correct? It's good for business, is what you. There you go. There you go. But, so that's the issue.
Really. I understand your disdain for Tomlinson. It has nothing to do with football or even Barry Sanders.
Hey man, what did LT ever do to you?
Look, it's deeper than rap. So don't go there.
All right, I'm gonna leave it alone there.
Yeah. That's a whole nother podcast. That's two Americas.
American black and white.
There you go. So that's the next podcast, by the way, American Black and White. Stay tuned. So, but the thing is, what he's saying is ridiculous, because the red zone is built off exciting plays, right? The long bombs, the short. Just think about how many short red zone passing touchdowns that you've seen. That ain't exciting. What's the most exciting play in football? A long run from a running back that ran through somebody, shook the whole squad, and took it to the house, man. Like,
But the only thing, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I don't disagree with that, and they
Okay.
do want those explosive plays, but you can't depend on that because you don't have the type of offensive linemen that are built just because it's throughout the system. They're passing the ball in the youth league. They're passing the ball in college.
And that goes with coaching. Like I said before, if your coaching doesn't dictate that you can run the ball and break runs, and your scheme doesn't do that, then fine. Spread the ball out, dink and dunk. That's that West Coast, Bill Walsh type stuff that he started with, Gruden tried to do with the Bucks and all that. But if you got to, let's say you have a Derrick Henry. Do you just send him out the backfield on the flare to throw it to him, or do you run him?
Not the Athletic. It was one of those publications, not the Athletic. I can't think of it.
I don't care about the publication. I asked you a question. If you have Derrick Henry, what would you do?
Well,
sir?
listen, Derrick Henry played at Yulee High School. His coaches. Well, listen though. Listen to the story.
Go ahead.
His coaches paid men because it was a new school. It was a coach like second or third year. He was like, "Listen, you're gonna suck this year, but next year we got this kid that's like 6'2", 230 who coming in. He's a running back." The first couple years they gave him the ball intermittently, and then
are we really talking about Derrick Henry's high school career right now?
Yeah.
Wow. How many square feet were his house?
Anyway, like I said, if you had a Derrick Henry on your squad, you're going to feed him the ball. But the thing that makes Tennessee horrible and why they can't get over the top because they didn't have no receivers and they don't have a quarterback. Now they figure they got a receiver, but they still ain't figured out the quarterback situation yet. So
you're saying you need a complete team?
I don't even know what you're talking about at this point.
Me neither. I'm lost.
Yulee High School thing just really threw me off.
Because I had a point, but y'all didn't let me cook my chicken. I like chicken.
Chicken. Go ahead. Let him finish, man. Go ahead. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I was saying.
Come on, man. Go ahead.
Right.
Man.
No, for real. No, I was just saying it's just an interesting story to your point that when he was in school, they decided with Derrick Henry that they were going to feed him the ball like 50 times a game, right? And it transformed the team. It brought it to a winning thing. So my point is there is not a million Derrick Henrys out there in the world. You just don't have that many. They don't exist. So what you can depend on is because you can't depend on even having an offensive line that's that good enough. But you can depend on having those skill position, have a scheme that can get those receivers open, that kind of eliminate the offensive line, and that's important because you don't have 5 guys who can root out other players. So that's
only one team that does that, and that's the Chiefs.
It's not just
everybody's not the Chiefs.
Everybody runs a similar scheme that tries to get all downfield.
Everybody's not the Chiefs.
I just want to know why we had to go back to Derrick Henry's high school career for you to make that point.
I've been wondering that for a little while now.
Hey, it don't matter, man.
I don't
Look, the man had a
why
point.
we had to go all the way back to Yulee High School for you to make that point.
Because he wears the jacket and he goes and he does the research.
Dude went to Alabama. I mean, if you was going, the dude went to Alabama and ran the ball 25 times and won the Heisman. Why you didn't just stop there? You went all the way
because he went in high school. He ran 50 times. He set the national running record.
All right. Calm down.
Thanks, man. We appreciate that.
Hey, if you tuned in and stayed for that whole rant by Mr. Opinion, I just want to apologize and say it'll get better. The show will get better from here. We'll do better. We'll do better going forward.
So, just to take it to a different level right now, we're gonna go to Madden just came out with the ratings. You know what I'm saying? If you play Madden, you already know this is very important to certain people and certain things. So we're gonna go ahead and show the ratings that we got up here. So if you see the Madden ratings as they are right now, I need your opinion on who do you think needs to be a 99, who needs to be up. Explain the Madden ratings to the people like that. Mr. Payne, you start off first because you have a whole lot to explain. Go ahead.
All right. So
Derrick Henry was rated 99 in high school.
he was rated 100. Actually, he was that good. But one of the things I look at the top 10 players over here on this side, and what stands out to me is that Patrick Mahomes isn't 99, considering what he's done to the league over the last few years. I think that's kind of a travesty of that. If we talk about players, I don't know if Justin Jefferson's a 99 just yet. I don't know if I put him in that category. Only reason why I say that is I haven't seen him ball out like that in the playoffs, right? I think the playoffs matter. I've seen Chase, the wide receiver out of Cincinnati, ball out in the playoffs in big games, but I haven't seen that from Justin Jefferson. So that would be my only caveat to add to this list. Is adding Patrick Mahomes and dropping Justin Jefferson. So.
Fred, what's your take on the Madden ratings, man?
Well, obviously, Tyreek Hill should have been a 99. And so he probably is the best player on this game, no matter what. I also think I kind of agree about the Justin Jefferson thing. When I first saw this, I think my first thought was like, Justin Jefferson's a 99 in Madden. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I think the rest of them I can kind of get in line with, but really you don't have to have a player who's a 99 to score in Madden, man. You could be if you got any of these guys in the 90s, man, you're gonna, and if you're as good as me, you're gonna do all right, man. You're gonna be fine. So you don't need a 99 to excel at Madden.
Go ahead, Maul. Tell us what your opinion of these Madden ratings,
I mean, you think about, I'm sticking with the Justin Jefferson, on the Justin Jefferson path. In my opinion, he's not even the best receiver in the game right now. So if you're talking about him being rated 99, I think Jamar Chase is better than him right now. I think Stephon Diggs is better than him right now. I think Tyreek Hill is better than him right now. So we think about, if we say the standard for the best receiver on Madden is Justin Jefferson, I definitely don't agree with that. But then I get it, man. He's the swaggiest player right now. Everybody doing the gritty. Kids are doing the gritty. He's selling jerseys. So I understand it, man. But I definitely don't think he's 99 worthy. One person who I do think is 99 worthy that I don't think is a 99 rated on the game is Travis Kelce. I'm not sure exactly where he is, but dude, and you talked about the playoffs, Super Bowl, playoffs, regular season, a home away. Travis Kelce is the man every time he put his cleats on. So if there's somebody who should have been a 99 rating, he definitely should have been one of them. So I don't know what they got against Travis Kelce at EA Sports. But as the season progresses, man, bump dude up to a 99, man, because the cat can ball, man. He balls every time he plays. And everybody knows, especially after Tyreek Hill left, everybody know where Patrick Mahomes is going with the ball. Third and 6. Whole stadium know he's going to Kelce, man, and dude still get open and do his thing. So give Travis Kelce however many points he need to get to reach 99. Give him his points, EA Sports.
Well, this list right in front of us shows us that he has that 99. So apparently Madden listened to you. So they took your advice in real time. Madden tunes in. Madden tunes in the fourth in the game.
I would say that the disrespectful thing is, like you say, Justin Jefferson being the only 99 receiver, because we all know Devontae Adams is a 99 receiver no matter what.
He should be.
Cooper Kupp.
Let me cook this chicken. Cooper Kupp is also is a 99 because that dude there balls. Another guy that is very low on this list that I've just seen that surprised me was Jalen Hurts. They got him as an 87, which is crazy to me.
Wow.
Like that don't even make sense to me. Like they got him with Dak Prescott, Justin Herbert. You know what I'm saying? Like they really pub up Justin Herbert too much for me. But just Jalen Hurts is supposed to be higher than that. But
yeah, they disrespected Tua too.
Yeah, no. Tua scrambled eggs is supposed to be a little lower than that now.
I don't know where injuries factor into overall rating, but injury ratings is probably like a 3. I love him to death, but his injury rating should be either a 2.5 or a 3.
So he's right above old boy in Buffalo.
Gotta be.
Okay. Did you know he's still playing? That's crazy. I wonder what his rating is on there.
I don't know, but
yeah, that's crazy.
He need to tap it out, man. But You know what I mean, fellas? We talking about, man. I've been away for a little while, man, doing my thing. My family just came back from a beautiful vacation, a cruise to Bahamas, man. About 35 of us went to the Bahamas, man. First time we had all ever been on a cruise together, man. It was so much fun. And while I was on the cruise, man, I seen a lot of funny things, man. A lot of funny stories to tell, man. But before I tell mine, man, I want to ask the fellas, man. I'm gonna start with you, Fred. Give me the funniest thing that you've seen while you've been on vacation.
I was trying to think about this, and I couldn't think of a good personal example, but I could think of one time when Maul came up to visit me. We were going to check out the place that I was about to get married at, and a gentleman walked down from his hotel room through the lobby of the place we were in, and he had on a do-rag, and Maul was making some jokes, and so I was kind of giggling because the jokes were funny, right? And the man took great offense to whatever Maul was saying, and they almost came to blows. Matter of fact, I do remember the gentleman asking Maul if he wanted to step outside, and I couldn't stop laughing the whole time. I don't know if that helped or hurt the situation. I don't know if it was actually funny or potentially violent. To me, it was one of the funniest. I mean, he came up here for vacation and then almost got into a physical altercation with a man over a do-rag in a hotel lobby. I don't know. The whole thing was very, very funny. And if you would have been there, I know you'd laugh.
Hey, listen, man. You got to give the backstory on why this happened. Me and this dude were the only African Americans in this whole town. So I think he was offended that the only other African American in this town said, "Hey," was making jokes about his do-rag. Maybe he felt like that me, as the only other black dude in the town, should have understood what the relevancy of him wearing a do-rag was. I was only saying, "Hey, man, it ain't that serious. It's only me and you in this town. Why are you wearing a do-rag?"
I don't think he felt that you were being. He didn't appreciate your lack of support for him and his do-rag, and he definitely let you know about it. And it was a very hilarious situation. It is actually one of the funniest things I've ever seen in person.
Well,
dude actually told me, hold on, Roscoe, before you go real quick. The dude actually turned around as we was cracking jokes on him and said, "What's going on, brother?" I was like, what you talking about, man?
I immediately started laughing. As soon as that happened, I didn't do anything else but laugh. I laughed the entire time, and then he asked you to step outside. That was hilarious too.
Well, I will piggyback off of that. Also in North Carolina, with visiting Fred with Maul. And
hey man, why do I feel like all these are Maul stories, man? What's going on here?
It's in honor of you coming back from vacation, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah. So
maybe I just attract funniness.
So we was at Fred's house, and that was the first snow that came down of the season. So it started snowing real hard, man. We was outside enjoying the snow and throwing snowballs at each other and stuff. So somebody decided they want to light a fire in the fire pit. Now we all know, that's a grand idea. Light a fire, but it's in the middle of a snowstorm, and the fire pit is soaking wet with
much snow at the bottom of the fire pit.
So a certain young man said, I ain't gonna say no names. A certain young man said, "I can do it anyway. I can do it. I can light a fire anyway. I was a Royal Ranger." Like, okay. All right, Royal Ranger. So me and Fred
threw that mushy newspaper down there in the bottom.
Sit back and laugh hysterically at this dude as he sat out there for almost an hour. We left him after 30 minutes of him trying.
It was cold.
Then we was like, we going inside. We getting snowed on. We come back out. He had I almost had it. We were like, no, you didn't, dude.
There was still snow in the bottom of the fire.
Like, dude, just stop. He wouldn't give up. He didn't want to admit defeat. So that was one of my funniest things that happened on vacation, bro.
Hey, I
Yeah,
almost had
Mo.
that
That,
fire.
that, that was you, by the way, Mo.
I
That
almost
was you.
had that fire. I seen it.
No,
the whole
no, you did not. You were not even close. There was that much snow in the fire pit, bro.
What happened was
I think what you were trying to do is
Tampa wood. That's what it was.
I think what you were trying to do is scientifically impossible.
Impossible. You light
It
wood
was,
on fire.
it was, but man,
Go
I mean,
ahead, Mister.
I couldn't let Mother Nature beat me, man. I was trying to go for broke.
All right, cool. Mother Nature's undefeated, by the way. Mr. Payne, what's your funniest thing, man?
I don't think I've had any
It better
funny
not be a Mo
stories
story,
on
man.
vacation. I haven't had any funny stories on vacation, actually.
Okay, what's the coolest thing you've done on vacation? You've been around the world.
I would say camping out on the Great Wall was pretty cool. It was like in the ruins of the Great Wall, not even the traditional kind of backpacking through the side country, going up into one of the parapets of the Great Wall and camping out. So that was pretty awesome. And then I would probably add just a second one, going into the pyramids was pretty epic. So those two things.
Okay. So Mo, what is a funny thing you've seen on vacation, Mo? Since it's your
Before
question.
I get to my funny thing real quick, I just want to say, Mr. Opinion, what kind of person has never seen anything funny on vacation that was memorable? Like, come on, man, cut it out. We know you've been to the ruins. We know you've been to the Great Wall. Come on, man, you've been seeing something funny on vacation. I done been on vacation with you before, and we done seen some funniness. But all right, man, I'm gonna let you do your thing. 21.
21.
I just remember, man, back when we were going to Daytona Beach for Black Beach, man, and I distinctly remember this dude got in the porta potty on the strip. He had to go to the bathroom real bad, and I was saying in my mind, man, if you gonna go in there and be cool, but if you finna go in there and sit down and do number two, that might be a bad idea. Dude was in there for about 2 or 3 minutes and he ain't come out, and I heard somebody say, "Let's tip him over." And when they said let's tip him over, I seen about 5 or 6 people tip that thing over, bro. Bro was in there screaming, trying to pull out the door was locked. Hey, man, when I seen that dude get tipped over in that porta potty, now we thinking Black Beach, this was like Saturday, so it's like a big on the strip.
Yeah.
People don't use that bathroom. Dude went out there and risked it all to go in there and do number 2. And they tipped that thing over. And when I say funny, I don't think there was not a person on that strip in Daytona that was not laughing at that dude, because they was like, bro, we know when that dude come out, he finna kill somebody. Man, I thought that was the funniest thing I've seen in my life, bro. Like, that was hilarious, bro.
He had to go home after that, or go to the hotel room to change to something, bro.
If I was him, I would have just stayed in there till Black Beach we was over for the Because, man, that was the worst, dog.
You gonna stay the whole weekend?
For me, man, that was the funniest thing I ever seen, because it was like some movie type stuff. Like, man, they really finna tip this dude over in the porta potty, man. And then when that thing tipped over, after it hit the ground, they like rolled it a couple times. So he really I was like, man, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. But fellas, man, I know I've been gone for a week, man. And I kind of missed this whole Carly story, man. The young lady who, got kidnapped, didn't get kidnapped, whatever the story is. So I'm gonna let y'all fill me in, man. Mr. Opinion, man, as much as you know about this whole crazy story that's out there, man, with Carly Russell, excuse me. Go ahead, fill me in, man. I've been going. Let me know what's going on.
Listen, this story is it's crazy in the way, because Carly went missing, right? She was on the road and she went missing. And it was reports of a young boy disappeared with her. It was on the interstate. Nobody really knows, but this is the key thing for the story. And I'm gonna let Roscoe fill in the details, because I don't have any. But one of the things that just really stood out to me from this story is they went to go review some tape of the scene where she was missing, and it was like 3 minutes missed from the tape. And I was like, that was kind of suspicious, because they're still investigating it. Some people saying it was a hoax, because she found her way back to the hospital. She kind of reappeared, but her family just was on what was that, USA Today or America Today, the TV show in the morning. To Good Morning America, one of those shows. And the parents are adamant that she was kidnapped. She was fighting for her life to get back, but we haven't heard from her. We just heard from her family, but it's like it's all over this. It was kind of mixed up. So, Roscoe, what do you have?
From the details that I know is this, man. She was coming home from work. She was on the interstate, and being a good Samaritan, she saw a baby in the street. she was like, "Man, Brenda, get your babies out the street." You know what I'm saying? Boys in the Hood style. So she stopped the car, called. I guess she called the police or whatever. Like, there's a baby out here. So she got out the car. Wrong. Shouldn't do that. So she get out the car, and I guess the baby and some other people like snatched her up and took her to the woods.
Why you can't laugh?
That baby was tough as hell. Maybe had seen some stuff.
It was actually Bushwick Bill.
It was the same baby from the Dave Chappelle joke that was selling dope when he was there. But no, for real though. She got a
picture of my mind of this baby.
Yeah, it was like little man, but she got snatched up and gone for like 48 hours. Then she appeared back at her house, and I guess they took her to the hospital and all that type of stuff. So don't nobody know the gist of what happened in those 48 hours. So they left it to the social media and the internet to speculate, which is.
They will do that.
Best. And we're going to speculate, and we're going to have 1,000 stories. Somebody compared her to Jussie Smollett, that French actor. Some people, some people are like outraged that, people are trying to, talking about black women's safety and, because if it is a Smollett situation, then that takes away from the whole idea of black women being safe in America and all that good stuff. So it's like, it's a double-edged sword because I want to make so much fun about it, but I don't. Because I don't know the whole story yet. But when I do, just know I'm still going to make fun of it. But
it's entirely possible that not enough details are present here to really know anything at all. Because, she did report a toddler walking around. She disappeared. Mm-hmm. And then the last thing I read as of 7 p.m. today from the USA Today was that she returned home on foot. But the only thing they said was that police were, quote, unable to confirm whether there was a child on the highway. And then they also added, which I thought this was interesting. So they don't say there wasn't one. They just say they can't confirm there was one. And the police also added that her report is the only one of a child on the interstate. Yeah. They did take a statement, but then everything in between that is gaps. And so what everyone's doing right now is just speculating on what might have happened. It is entirely possible that she could have seen a kid. They might not, there could have been a thing that happened. It could be related to another case that happened. There could be a reason that a kid's out there wandering around on the interstate. So there's all kinds of potential things that could be going on, or it could be that she made it up and, for some reason that we might never know because it could be a private thing. It's just, how the internet is, man. The internet loves this kind of stuff. I think personally that the baby that she saw wasn't real, just like the guy on the airplane that the woman saw who was not real. So I think maybe there is,
I like how you connected that.
There could be we could right now be having a rash of people who are not real showing up in places and then creating hijinks. That's what I think might be going on here.
I just want to kind of chime in on the story. Like I said, when I heard the part of the story where they talked about the part that's missing on the cameras, that kind of perked my attention.
That's crazy
because that but I like what you said. But one of the other things, when that Jussie Smollett thing came out, everybody said it was BS. That was BS over. I think only a certain segment of the population believes him.
They got a bill passed.
But only a certain segment believes him. Everybody else was like, "This is some BS," which it turned out to be true. This doesn't feel that way to me, but that's just my instinct. Just throw it out there, Maul. That's what's the big news that you missed, along with some other stuff.
But
I mean, just to cap it off, man. First, I want to say human trafficking is a real thing. So I know these are just jokes.
Yeah.
We ain't trying to discount the fact that she may have been, a victim of anything else. I will say, is a lot of the stuff is very, very suspicious. I mean, I ain't never been driving around and see naked babies on the highway. How did the baby get there? Did he drive there? Like, I mean, there's a whole lot of things.
A lot of stuff.
Yo, Maul, let me jump in on this. I remember I was in Baltimore right? And it was cold. I was driving around Baltimore, and I swear to God, I seen some babies hanging out on the corner. It was they had to be under
Hold on, time out, bro.
And that ain't the
Just
funniest.
ask you if you had anything funny happen on your vacation. You conveniently forgot the fact that you seen
bunch of nighttime babies hanging
No,
out in
it was
Baltimore.
freezing. I don't know if it was funny. That's what I'm saying, but it was freezing. Babies just hanging out on the corner, like straight up.
So that ain't funny. So that's
I mean, it's
not
it's
funny.
peculiar.
Mr. Opinion.
it's a definition of funny. If by funny you mean kind of suspicious, something that maybe warrants a little bit more looking into, it was funny in that way too.
Mr. Opinion sells Saturns, man.
He saw babies on we laughed when Dave Chappelle said he saw babies outside hanging out.
No,
Yeah.
I
He was
actually
in
thought it
Baltimore,
actually
too.
happened. I with a bunch of people. Who was this car? We was driving and we didn't stop. Let me just say that we
Yeah.
kept driving. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of I don't know.
I don't know,
But
man.
you're
But
right
I do
into
know,
that. Go ahead.
I know that all of the internet sleuth detectives will figure it out for us real soon. Like,
They haven't found the lady who said this things ain't real yet. They haven't found her.
Nah, I think these
Maybe
things are.
she wasn't real.
I don't think that's a coincidence. I think that there could be, these things could be related. I don't think that baby was real, but not in the way that people are saying it online, in the sense that just like the lady who saw the man on the plane who wasn't real. So there's a bunch of people walking around who are not real. And I don't know, we have a problem right now. So be on high alert. Make sure
Secret
you're
Invasion TV show.
Yeah, make sure you're paying super close attention to the people around you, because some of them are real and then some of them clearly aren't.
I wonder if the mall that came back is real versus the mall.
Show us your
left.
belly button, Mo. If you got a belly button.
I don't want to see your belly button.
I'll just deal with
That's
this
how
new
you know
mall.
you're a clone now.
I'll just deal with this new mall. It's fine.
You can judge my realness by this fine cigar smoke. It's very
Nah,
real.
nah.
Hey, just so I can put this on the record. If I see anybody's babies outside at night,
Mhm.
I am not going to stop and check on
Yeah.
them, because clearly you are giving up on them, and it's called natural selection. And if they survive, if not, but
I
I'm
will
not
call
checking
the
on your babies. I
and
will
report
call. You know what? Somebody with me better call, because I'm not checking on your babies. That's the thing. But
This
anyway.
story did make me think about that, because you got to think, let's say that this woman's telling the truth. If you're driving on the interstate and you see a baby walking around, I definitely would not get out of the car. I'm far too cautious for that. However, I would probably call someone, and I would probably park within eyesight of that baby, even turn on my hazards and maybe try to block some traffic. But yeah, I mean, it did make me wonder.
Hey, listen, y'all talking crazy, man. If you see a baby on I-4,
No.
man, you might say you won't stop and get out, but man, your natural instincts to get you. I would. I ain't even gonna cap. If I see a baby wandering around on I-4, I'm gonna stop my car and get out and try to protect that.
That is immediately going to look suspicious to me, more than it's going to look. At the very least, I'm going to stop my car, look around, and see if I see another car who could be associated with this baby that was waiting to get me.
That might be a little person.
You know what, Maul, and my mind. I wish I had
I ain't gonna cap, bro. I would. All my inhibitions would go out the window, and I'd be like, "Damn, man, I can't let this baby get run over by a 18-wheeler, man. Let me go get this baby out the street."
Hey, let me jump in, because I got my
baby.
tinfoil kufi on right now. What if all of this is a psyop to get people to think, because child trafficking is real, right? And what if people have put this out there? So when we do see a baby, because people run in distress. There was a story in, I think it was Philadelphia a few years back, where a child was kidnapped. They happened to escape and make their way home, right? So what if we see that's part of the psyop? So we see them out in the street and we think, let me not help, and the child trafficking thing kind of continues. That's just kind of my thought as I hear these stories.
I don't think that's gonna work, because you got people like Mo that's gonna stop and help babies. I know a lot of people that are stop and help babies. I'm just saying, me personally, I'm not gonna help your baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm cutthroat. I'm not gonna help your baby.
Stop trying to be tough. Stop trying to be hard. You ain't got a lot of kicking.
Look.
Stop
First,
and get that baby.
no. I'm not trying to be tough. That Mr. Opinion saw a whole baby in Baltimore in the cold and kept it pushing.
and he
know what I'm
wears
saying? So-
and he wears a blazer to his podcast. So if
Exactly.
you know what I mean, like if a guy like that doesn't stop for a baby at night, then what do you expect out of a couple guys in caps and the
but-
hoodie?
Mr. Opinion, what are you doing, sir?
But
Continue.
Mr. Opinion also is a guy who likes the Bucks. He thinks Barry Sanders wasn't a good running back. We can go on and on and on about the stupid stuff Mr. Opinion has said and done. So we gonna discount Mr. Opinion's whole relevancy.
I love
right now.
Mr. Opinion. Don't do
He
that.
knows for doing. He knows
ain't
for
gonna
doing.
dis- he ain't gonna discount Mr. Opinion. But
Hey,
anyway,
Mr. Opinion always does stupid. So we ain't judging us what we're doing on what he would do.
well, look, here's the deal, man. You know what I'm saying? We about to get into the segment where we say what matters to us. So I don't know who wants to go first. Y'all go ahead and jump in. Whatever matters to you, Mr. Opinion. Go ahead. What matters to you, sir?
Speaking of things that matter and having fantastic takes, because that's just what I do.
There you go.
Based in reality, because I am
Yeah.
real.
Oh,
Arsenal.
Mm.
Can we put me up on the screen? Arsenal has come out with a new kit. This is their away jersey, which just looks fantastic. And I think I must cop one of these. So I have Bucks coming out with new uniforms, Arsenal coming out with this new away kit. That's what's mattering to me the most. I just want y'all quick take. What do you guys think about these new Arsenal kits?
you know what? That looks like the old Rowdies uniforms that they came back out with that one time. I'm just saying, though, you know. But hey,
They're pretty
I
fire.
can dig it. I can dig it. You know what I'm saying? I'm with the rowdy craziness of it. You know what I'm saying?
I was about to say, put those back up again. You know what those look like, man? Those look like some uniforms from Whoville. They look very Grinch green. They look like the Whoville Youth Soccer League would be playing in them uniforms. Those are terrible. The pattern is terrible. The color is terrible. Man, cut it out, man. Get that off the screen.
You ain't the boss of me. I'm gonna keep them on there. But they also look like, if y'all never seen the new White Man Can't Jump movie, they look like, well, I'm gonna spoil it anyway. They look like the uniforms that they wore in the big game that they won the championship in. But go ahead, Fred. What do you care about? That only matters to you, man.
So the other day I was heading to a work appointment and I was running a little bit late and I'm driving down a road, wasn't even that busy of a road, just a 2-lane road, 35 mile an hour speed limit. I was, running kind of late, but I was like, okay, I'm just going to make it. I'm going to make it on time to my appointment. And I get to a car and the car is stopped in the middle of the road and I can't figure out what's going on. And I look and there's about 12 geese just hanging out. They're all over. Some of them are, in a curb. Some of them are just strolling across the road. One of them was just standing there facing both of our cars, just looking at us. It didn't do anything, didn't say anything. And first I thought, oh man, I'm going to be late. And I was. And then the second thing I thought was, well, I got to talk about, the geese they're on the list of jerkiest animals for sure. Like if you know anything at all, if you've ever seen a goose in public, if you've ever interacted with one, you know for sure that they are jerks. I'll take it a step further. They're idiots because people were laying on their horns at these geese. Any other animal would have had the sense to keep strolling right across the street. These geese were defiant. People honked. Anyway, so, I just want to remind you that when you're thinking about animals that you hate, definitely put geese on this list. They will bite you. They will chase you. They poop everywhere. They have no concept of personal boundaries. They're loud and aggressive. They really are crappy animals. But whatever you do not hurt Canada geese because they are protected species. So, you got to kind of give them their space. And I think they know it because they've behaved very much that way. But yeah, man, geese, your time's coming. And I'll tell you right now, if I ever see...
Did you just threaten the geese community?
Yes, you did. You threatened the whole geese.
If I ever see a bear attack a goose, I'm going to root for the bear, even though they're both on the list of jerkiest animals. And that's just because, because geese are protected, I've never seen them get their comeuppance. Wow. And I really feel like someone needs to kind of show geese who's boss. So I'm tired of your stuff, geese.
Well, I will piggyback off you, Fred, with jerky animals. Because my neighborhood, we have we've got peacocks now.
Oh, yeah.
And somebody decided that they're going to feed the peacocks. So now the peacocks are not going anywhere. And as you all know how peacocks are, they will destroy stuff. They jump on people's roof. They jump on the fence. They poop everywhere. They peck at everything. So yes, and they're very loud. They like
they sound like someone screaming in the middle of the night.
It's like, oh my God, who's outside dying? No, it's just the peacock outside. So we have peacocks in the neighborhood, Fred. So that's all I have to say about that.
That's a tough
so,
break.
Maul, what do you care about than only you care about?
Man, I think I'm gonna be a little more on the serious side, man. Shout out to all the geese and the peacocks who've been terrorizing y'all neighborhoods, man. It sounds like y'all deserve it, man. Y'all got to get off my lawn guy attitude right now. But for me, man, I spoke a little bit earlier about the family reunion vacation. We had a little bit of backstory about my family. So my family is very much intertwined, man. My oldest uncle and my father married two sisters, my oldest aunt and my mom. So my maternal and paternal families are very much intertwined, man. So this was the time where we all got together, decided to go on a cruise, hang out, drank, ate, party, laugh, cried, all that good stuff together, man. So that was one of the things that I really, really cared about. I was looking forward to it for a long time, just to see my family all together, most of my family all together at once, man, just enjoying each other. And again, like I said, it's a lot more special because of how intertwined my paternal and maternal families are, man. So that's one thing that was really, really important to me. It went off without a hitch, no issues. Everybody got where they were supposed to be. Everybody made it back to the port when they're on time. So shout out to the fam, man. Daniel Family Reunion 2023 was up, man. We had a great time. So shout out to the fam, man. That was really, really important to me. I'm glad we pulled it off. I can't wait to the next one, man. We already planning the next one.
Hey, I know Roscoe was going to ask this, but I'm going to jump in and ask it anyway. On your cruise ship, was there a 24-hour sandwich spot? Was there a place where you could go 24 hours a day to get a sandwich on your cruise ship? Did that exist on this ship?
Yeah, it was room 8398, man, the big executive suite.
Nice. Nice.
I mean, I don't know what else to say. Yeah, but nah, man, it was a sandwich shop, man, and I had hella sandwiches. I also had that good God burger, man. So
yeah, that God burger's the joint.
Shout out to the God burger, because I know I had my fair share of God burgers this weekend. So
nice.
Fred, go to hell for that one, but I answered it the right way.
No, man. I mean, hey, there's a crossover. There's a crossover between sandwiches and Fourth in the Game, man. It's in the lore. It's in the lore of the show now, man. You got to ask about sandwiches.
You got to ask about sandwiches, man.
Roscoe already spilled the beans on the.
Yo, speaking of sandwiches, I know we running late. Appreciate you guys for hanging in there. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If somebody wanted to cut off my Yuli story, it probably would look faster, but what else?
Nope.
I went to Venice on the Quebec, and I had one of the best sandwiches of all time. It was delicious.
I'm all in.
No, it was. I'm up a screenshot if I could pull it up really quick.
I'm all in. I'm down for new.
Yeah, what was on this? What was on this sandwich?
What was on?
I know what was on it.
Burger? Not yet. I ain't ready.
You got some bull up. Well, while you get that ready, I'll tell you what matters to me. What matters to me right now, man, I'm on my last 2 weeks of summer vacation, man. And I'm just
nanny boo boo.
Yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm hanging out, man, and just trying to do everything I can do as you can for summer vacation as a grown adult with kids and stuff, man. So, going swimming, going to the park, just trying to do everything I need to do before, I get back into the grind of getting back to work. And check out my podcast with me and my son, the Podcast Boys. We're in the building. We're just talking trash, talking about everything, man. He'll be here, but he's asleep right now, hopefully. He probably not, because he probably still up.
Yeah, he's asleep.
He gonna be up telling us all right, let's record our show. But anyway, Mr. Opinion, are you ready to show us?
I'm not ready. I have to show you guys next week.
Anyway, so since he's not
ready. You build us up just to let us down.
Yes.
Just the kind of stuff I would expect from a guy dressed like a travel agent.
I told you, man. If somebody, if a dude can mess up all white uniforms like Mr. Opinion, you can mess up anything.
Anything. You get the X. So this has been our show, people. This is Fourth in the Game, man. We out here, man. We doing.
I think episode 28. Episode 28, right? Am I right here? Episode 28.
Episode 28. We love doing what we do, man. For our twos and fews out there, let us know how you feel. Comment, subscribe, tell your friends, your family, tell your enemies, tell our enemies, tell our friends, everybody, man. Come out there, check us out. You know what I'm saying? This is what we do. This is how we get down, man.
Hey,
so
tell everybody the ruler's back. I'm back. The ruler's back. Tune in. If you just tuning in just for me, all my fans, I'm back, baby.
If y'all just tuning in for more, I appreciate you and I love you to death. I'm glad you're back.
All y'all who've been waiting for me to come back and asking,
waiting for you.
In the stream. In the stream.
Where's Maul? Maul is back.
So
in his rightful place.
Anyway, for Fred, Mr. Opinion, and the guy that everybody's been waiting on.
MJ,
we love y'all.
45. That's me.
Peace out.
MJ win 45. I'm back from golfing and playing baseball. I'm back. Let's go.
Anyway, we are out of here. Peace out, people. See y'all next week, man.
Peace.